This video is all over the place. I did the gameplay 7 months ago and didn't realize there wasn't any sound. I did the voiceover last week, and most of the voiceover, I was eating my words up to the point I don't know what I said. Some of the voice recordings are low in some areas and fine in others. The main gameplay was recorded at once, but the surrounding footage was recorded after I changed some graphic settings on my PC, so there is an obvious difference. This started off as a 30-minute recap, then was cut down to half of that. I've edited this so much to the point I just want to move on and start fresh on a new video. Here's my hot mess of a recap. I recorded this on December 16th. Yes, 7 months ago. I played this for 5 hours. When I started recording, I realized there was no sound. So here we are, a voiceover, 7 months later. So this video is a recap of what happened in those 5 hours. So things to note, this was during the Cozy Celebrations event, so you will see the annoying icon in the corner. I have some skin overlays to slightly change the appearance of my Sims and some other mods, but nothing to change the overall gameplay. Some introductions. These are the Fry sisters. The oldest is Haven. She is our doctor. Her traits are ambitious, bookworm, and family-oriented. Autumn is a detective. She is outgoing, creative, and a foodie. Lastly, Jim is the scientist. She loves the outdoors and is an evil genius. We start playing chess with Autumn and Jim, building the logic skill. Jeffrey Landgrab jogs by while Jim has a want to make an enemy. Then later, while Autumn and Jim are chatting it up in the kitchen, Jeffrey walks by the window, solidifying him as Jim's #1 future enemy. Before things get hectic, I decide to take them to the park to make friends. At first it was empty besides a random child and an old lady sleeping on a bench. Then there was a sim that found a little bit of my CC in my Pose player folder. Autumn and Haven start talking to Vivian Lewis and some other woman. Jim grilled up some hot dogs because she didn't eat at home. Once I pan back, there's this guy that joined the conversation. His name is Nicholas Holmes. Jenny Zest makes an appearance, and then he doesn't. Sent Jim to look at a plant, then she lays down to start stargazing. I knew it was time to go. Haven starts her first day at the hospital. Of course, she felt the presence of a puddle and had to mop it up. This is the nurse, who is also named Jeffrey, but is spelled with a J. I'll just call him J, not to confuse him with Landgrab. I had Haven make introductions, and they just decided to crowd around her for her attention. I had her make an escape to the bathroom to wash her hands and start her workday. Once she started visiting patients, she started biting out. After a moment to herself, she handed out a plate from her back pocket. While the doctor and receptionist work, Haven and Jay get more acquainted. He must make her comfortable because what is this? Monomer, Dina, and Katrina show up needing medical attention, yet they don't get any all day. I completely ignore them. As the day wraps up, Haven and Jay flirt autonomously with each other, starting a little workplace romance. At home, Autumn gets a text from Nicholas asking if he could come over. She was a little funky, and before I could send her to take a shower, he caught a whiff. Haven does a few sit-ups in the backyard, then figures she loves fitness. While Autumn is outside gaming, Haven keeps Nick company by telling him to go back to where he came from. Me being nosy, I saw Katrina upset. She must have called in sick at work and needed a doctor's note. Nick must have been shaken up by what Haven told him, and he goes upstairs to give himself a pep talk. I guess the fishing didn't muster up any ideas for Katrina, so she stumps off. Jim has her first breakthrough. Haven tries to walk Nicholas out, but Autumn stops her. Then I saw the reason why Haven dislikes Nick. I had no idea that he was an alien. He must have told her and she didn't like it. Next day, Haven walks in and hugs Jay autonomously. I have nothing to do with their interactions besides the task for her job. They talk for a bit, then she finds a puddle to mop. Jeffrey sees Haven clear out the lobby, then he moves from his favorite spot to go pretend to work. He talks to this woman for the entire shift. Doing her job in his causes Haven to get dizzy. She has to self-medicate to get through the rest of the day. Just look at him doing nothing. The doctor calls Haven over to tell her what not to do on the job. We end the day off with a promotion. She gets home, then I see her again. To celebrate Haven's promotion, the girls go to the Blue Velvet. Haven heads straight to the bar to get some chips, order some drinks, and look who it is, having a good time. Perfect time to ruin it. Things were going well. At first, I got too confident and tried to kick it up a notch. After having multiple interactions fail, Jim got embarrassed and got the fear of crowds. I took it as a sign to call it a night. Another day at the hospital, Katrina comes back hoping to see a doctor. Haven traumatized this little girl. Trying to interact with the patient, Jay gets in the way pretending to work again. We hand out more pocket food, then check some ears. Act like we know how to use the analyst machine. Katrina leaves, got a little smelly, and then had to do the hand wash trick to hold us until we get home. Ended the night off helping Jim get rid of her fear. She doesn't have time being afraid when she needs to be evil. Finally, we shadow a different sister. Autumn starts her day with a shower and cooks breakfast, leveling up her skill. First day on the job, we get to go to a crime scene. I guess there was a fire or something. Took some pictures and samples. Headed back to the precinct, did some testing, different career, same task, doing the co-worker's job. Autumn had to take out inmates and book them. Haven gets a message from Jay asking if he should switch careers. He obviously knows he's going to be fired soon, and I tell him the best advice possible. He should follow his heart. On day 6, we followed Jim, got up, did her morning routine, and had some family time. Once she headed to work, I had her meet her useless co-workers, talked to the invention constructor, made this useless spinning invention, bebopped on this machine, watered the rest of the plants that her coworkers didn't, laughed while figuring out not to mix these two chemicals again, and make sure to write it down, got promoted, decided to plant some seeds at home to up the gardening skill. Started the next day by accidentally walking in on Autumn in the bathroom. I mean, we were related, but whatever. Headed to the hospital, and there's no Jay. Checked on some patients and handed out some pocket juice. Pretended to work on the computer, but checked social media instead. Got promoted. A patient followed us home. I had Jim go out solo to hang out with Riley Yang. All of that gets thrown out once Jeffrey jogs up. We do a little laughing and yelling, then I finally remember Riley, so I head inside the bar. Jeffrey peps himself up, Riley leaves, and we lose a fight to Jeffrey. I didn't know he had hands. Jim tries to play it off by going back to her drink and dancing. Now she's holding a grudge and is on the warpath. Back to Haven creating more lawsuits, playing with more machinery, and raising patients' medical bills with unnecessary tests. Ended the day with a good book. I added A Home by NelcaRed. NelcaRed? I hope I didn't say that wrong. And plopped a sim I made into it. Don't know if I will incorporate him into the drama. His name is Theo. I sent the girls to the gym to work on their fitness skill, and Jeffrey has the audacity to be here. It's great motivation for Jim though. She angrily focused on her workout. Then had a little dance break, hopped on the treadmill until she got filthy, danced some more, true dedication to getting revenge. Back at home, Autumn got a fear of unfulfilled dreams. I have been slacking on her wants to make a friend and make connections at work. Another day of Autumn at the precinct. Got sent out on patrol. I guess I witnessed some fights. Wrote a citation to Nicholas, and he stormed off. Writing that one citation made Autumn hungry. She pulls out a plate of food, starts chomping down with chaos happening behind her. She is then sent to arrest the suspect with red hair and wearing a jacket. I obviously knew it was the girl busting it down in the corner since it was only her and Bad Girl in the area. No matter how many times I take the bags from her, she gets them back. I still decide to ask Bad Girl about the suspect, and she stands up to point in the opposite direction to an empty corner. I ask someone else that wasn't delusional and pointed in the right direction. Took the suspect in to book her. She must have stolen from a CVS or something. She had a flashlight and a toy in her pocket. I couldn't figure out how to put her in a cell, so I just left her and went upstairs to exercise. Bad Girl came to the precinct, I guess leave a statement. Autumn went over to talk to this guy named Ismail Steele. I thought they were talking longer than they had and didn't realize the non-existent friendship bar. I flirted with him and he didn't like it, and I'm glad the day ended before things got worse. Haven is getting better at caring for her patients, but still running up their bills with extra testing. Another random townie found a sparkler from my CC folder. Haven gets another promotion, so that wraps up the recap. I spent a lot of time playing Haven and getting her promoted, so next time I want to focus a little bit more on Autumn and Jim. Goal for Autumn is to get rid of her fear and fulfill her wants. For Jim, I want to level up her fitness and mischief skill, because we got to get our get back for Jeffrey. Haven has a want to get into a relationship, and we can work on that. Comment down below what you think about Haven and Jay, or if she should meet somebody else. But thanks for watching, and see you next time.